what is grief? Grief is a normal reaction to a significant emotional loss. It can also be those conflicting feelings caused by the end or change in a familiar pattern of behavior. In our lifetime, we will experience loss. That is one thing we all have in common. We will experience loss. There are over 40 different types of losses that we can experience in a lifetime. The Grief Recovery Method is an educational program. It's therapeutic, but not therapy. It was developed to help grievers move through and let go of the pain they're carrying. It's not about forgetting. Now, the Grief Recovery Method is structured, and each week we go through homework, which we call heart work. We use a book called the Grief Recovery Handbook, the 20th Anniversary Expanded Edition. This book was written by a man who experienced a significant emotional loss and had nowhere to turn. There was no resources for him to work through the pain he was carrying. So it was developed out of necessity. This book was developed over 45 years ago. It's in over 20 languages. The Grief Recovery Method is evidence-based. Now, the Grief Recovery Method, like I said, gives us tools. Each week we're going to work through a different tool. We're going to work through and learn about myths and misinformation that we've been taught. We're going to learn about responsibility. We are going to look at how we cope, our short-term coping skills that we've acquired to help us stuff down the pain of loss that we're carrying. That has not been helpful, because even though you stuff it down, it doesn't go away, and it affects everything that we do, every relationship. Then we will move into doing what we call a loss history graph, where you look at your life and losses from birth to today. And you're going to look at those losses, and you're going to be able to express the ones that are the most painful for you. And after we've done that loss graph, we will be able to express, by being heard, without judgment, criticism, or analysis, how we felt at the time of the loss. We'll be able to put language to our feelings. And then from that, we will create a relationship graph, because the loss history graph will show us what relationship is incomplete, is leaving us the most, it's restricting us the most in our life right now. That's what we're going to find out. And we will work through that relationship, and we will build a relationship graph. And that will consist of not only the painful parts of the relationship, but also the joyful, positive parts of the relationship. It is a complete look at that relationship. And just like the loss history graph, we will be able to express how we felt, put language to each event, and be heard without criticism, analysis, or judgment. We will be heard. Then, after we do that, we've got that relationship graph, we've expressed the feelings we had in those events. Now we do the recovery elements or components, and they consist of apologies, forgiveness, and significant emotional statements. Now, these are very important steps, and they're things that we wish we had said, we wish we had heard, we wished were different, better, or more. They're about hopes, dreams, and expectations. We're going to be able to express that using a formula that we can follow, developed by the Grief Recovery Method. Once we complete that, we will go on to the next step, which is a letter. Now, this letter is different because at the end of this letter, we will say goodbye. We will say goodbye to the pain, not the relationship. We're saying goodbye to the pain of that relationship up to this point in our lives. We're letting go of it. We will not forget, but we can let go of the pain to move forward, living our lives fully and completely without the fear of being hurt again. The Grief Recovery Method takes a willingness to look at your life honestly. It takes honesty. It takes openness to learning new things and concepts. It takes the hard work of doing the homework. And it takes courage. But you are worth the investment in yourself and this time to helping yourself feel better. You will learn about what's happened to you, not what's wrong with you. You will learn that you can feel better and never forget anything that happened to you. You can grieve and let go of the pain.